Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dream Oracle for You. I am your host, Sarah, and as always, I have my wonderful co hosts on the line with us, Biljana. And today is episode 32. And this month has actually been a Ley Love Down month. We've had a guest last week from Ley Love Down, a guest this week from Ley Love Down, and possibly another one next week. So stay tuned and also check out Ley Love Down. But I should also introduce the lovely Sarah Jane Porter is going to be on our show today. We're just going to see where the conversation goes with all things dreams, and maybe she'll talk a little bit about dream journaling. We'll see how that goes. And as always, Biljana, please just welcome us to the show.
Yes, it was an interesting start. A little bit of giggles, and we've always got tech issues. Oh, I think it's part of it. So yeah, welcome to another episode. I can't believe it's 32 already. Jeez, it's gone quick. And to have Sarah on number 32. So yeah, we're really excited for this episode. And yeah, I'd love to hear more about you, even though I know you personally already, but it's good just to learn more about you and yeah, what you want to share and all that sort of stuff. And being a Ley Love Downian, as you call it.
Love it.
Yeah, so yeah, welcome yourself, however you want to say it.
Oh, excuse me. I should have had some water after my morning coffee. Oh, excuse me. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been a long time coming, actually. I was reflecting, like we first had this chat, Sarah, in I think it was November last year.
Really, was
December,
it? Yeah,
January, was
probably.
it
Oh my
December,
goodness.
January? Yeah, so no, I really appreciate it. I really do. But yes, I am a honorable member of the Ley Love Down team, which has just been so much fun. Getting together with other humans who just really care about making a difference, and I feel like that's really what I'm here for, in terms of like soul work. And it's like bringing people together. Like, let's remember that we're a part of something bigger. Let's remember that we have magic at our disposal, that we are so powerful, that our intention is everything, and we can actually truly make a positive impact on this planet. So, yeah, so the Ley Love Down initiative, get on it, people. If you haven't already come to join, at least dipped your toe in, do come along to one of our beautiful meditations, group meditations. Um, but yes, that's a little bit about me. I'm a nomad. I live on the road. Left the rat race in 2022 after living through COVID in Melbourne, the epicenter of that whole time. And yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air, a breath of fresh air. So I'm currently based in Queensland, definitely chasing the sun. I love being warm, so definitely going to be a Queensland girl ongoing. And yeah, so dreams, hey. Dreams. I When we first chat, Sarah, um, and you were like, "Hey, do you want to come on my podcast?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not really that like qualified, like, I don't have a lot to say about, I'm no expert in anything. And you're like, well, you're human, you dream, so let's have a chat. And I love that. I love that the invitation, and especially because it encouraged me to start keeping a dream journal, which is something that I had sort of
Yes.
started, stopped, started, stopped. And so, and it's been start, stop since then. But it's been very interesting that that invitation has really started to open up just new doorways into what dreams mean for me and how they are helping and interacting with my life. It's been really, really interesting, especially the last few weeks. Yeah, last few weeks as well. There's been some crazy stuff going on. So yeah, so I really appreciate this invitation. I really do. I really do.
You're welcome. Yeah, we're excited, and that's normal for people to stop start. Like I do that too with the journaling, and
Hmm.
and I put it down to like whether you're um really in the mental side, like living your 3D reality, like really putting yourself into that, and then putting your dreams to the side, so you can kind of what you dream about, what comes through, then you can, what's the word, integrate it into your everyday life. If we're constantly worrying about or just focusing on our dreams and not living our life, we're completely separated. So yeah, that I have that all the time. Times where I just like, you know what, I'll put my journal down. I need to actually now integrate what I've dreamt about and
Mm.
learnt. So yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah, I
I
think
love
that's
that.
actually a great place for us to kind of kick off today's episode is kind of just maybe discussing what dream journaling is for us and kind of addressing that stop go situation because for myself, I think it was like in March that I really like hardcore got down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start journaling, and I was making the intention every night, like I'm gonna remember my dreams, I'm gonna write them down, and it everything was going great for like about a month solid, and I like filled up pages and pages of my dream journal, and then all of a sudden it kind of like just abruptly stopped where I would dream, and I know I would dream, and I would be able to recall it and all of that, but it just I didn't feel like it was that there wasn't like a message or there wasn't something profound in the dream that I needed to capture in a journal and write down. Up
Mhm.
until like I think it was like 2 or 3 nights ago, and I had this dream, and I don't have my journal with me, so I actually can't remember all of the details, but I just remember waking up and was like, oh, there was a message in there in that dream. There's something important that I need to pay attention in that dream. And I wrote it down. And it was funny because I then went back and looked at the last time I had an entry, and it was like April 23rd. So, it's been like almost a month of like no journaling whatsoever. And my feeling on that is kind of like what you were saying, Biljana, that you you have to integrate, you can dream and you can record all your dreams, but if you're not processing and you're not taking whatever the message is or recognizing the message and applying it, then, what's the point of having all these messages stack up? It's like having an inbox that you never check, essentially. And so I think that the stopping and going of a dream journal is really good, but it's also that, perhaps something that you've recorded, you won't even actually get to fully get the message until months later when you reflect on it. But that's also why it's so important to have the journal. What about you, Sarah? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like my brain's going in a few different tangents right now. Um,
Try them all.
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm reflecting on, so because I'm in the middle of something being revealed to me, I guess it might be a good way to put it. It's a bit tricky because it's quite personal. So I'll piece it together as I can. But I basically had an experience where I felt a really strong nudge to ask someone for a reading. I didn't even know if this woman did readings or what kind of readings they might be, but I just had this nudge. So that turned into getting a really beautiful reading from her. But then her sort of psychic touch chimed in, and she was asking me all these questions. And I'm like, oh, wow, like, how do you know this about me? This is crazy. So, and all of this information she was sharing with me was really, really relevant with not only some dreams that I've had, but just other moments of insight, during meditation and everything. So it was like this, things were kind of streamlining into this more clear picture of what was going on. And that night that she'd given me that information, I went to sleep and I was like, I'm really seeking some clarity and some guidance in my dreams tonight. Like, please, thank you, whoever's listening. And our higher selves met in the dream, and she was giving me information. And also, I dreamt that I was being driven in a car by someone named Tommy. The name Tommy is incredibly relevant in this story. And he was driving a white Dodge Ram. And the word Ram was like in front of me on the car. So it was really prevalent, like Tommy's driving as a Ram. So I've woken up and I'm like, wow, okay, interesting. And as I came out in the morning and opened the door of my home, I looked out on the grass and I could see ram, like the symbol of the ram, the Aries ram on the grass, just as the like it just passed through in front of me, like as the sun moved. I was just like, whoa, okay, there's something here, right? And so that's all still unfolding and becoming clearer. So at the moment, I'm not so much, um, because of that really clear experience in the dream, I'm not so much taking like all the details or worrying about all the details of the dreams. I'm just really going with what do I remember really clearly when I wake up, and like going with that. And I'm noticing that there's patterns with people driving cars, for example, or being in a car park, um, that are starting to become semi-regular in the dream. So I'm like, okay, I feel like there's a pull towards like these areas potentially being somewhere where I can. So this is another thing that I'm really fascinated about, is like the becoming aware in the dream, waking up in the dream, and I guess maybe playing the game in the dream, like more interaction, more conscious, right? And so, because whenever I get to that point, when I realize I'm dreaming, boom, it's gone. I either wake up or it stops for some reason. So it's so interesting. So that's kind of where I'm starting to play. And that's where the journaling is sort of supporting me. It's like those key words, those key, and like who's there, and just starting to piece together a little bit of a puzzle. Yeah.
You know, that's amazing. And I love
Mm.
the experience of recognizing you're dreaming and then like pretty much waking up instantly. That's kind of how that starts out with lucid dreaming. If you've not listened to episode 20, or anyone listening to this who's interested in
20.
lucid dreaming, episode 20, we meet with dream therapist Melissa Johnson, I believe her name is, and we talk about
Yeah.
lucid dreaming and lucid living, and she gives some tips on how to on how to ground yourself within a dream at that point, because it's all about being grounded once you're aware in a dream. And what happens is we get too excited and then you just wake up. So
Exactly.
so that's why you have to be able to ground yourself to not get too excited and wake up. And
But
there's
it's so
also,
exciting.
I know, come on. I've described this before so many times on the podcast, but I've had a flying
Yeah.
dream where I'm doing tumbles and somersaults in the air and just having the time of my life, and got so excited, and just like whoop, and you wake up, you're like, man. And it was like I decided, like I'm flying and I decided I want to do tumbles, you know. So
Yes.
anyway. um and I like that so it sounds like you're starting to pick up on common themes as you're dream journaling, which is
Definitely.
also great because um one of the main things about dreams, I think you kind of already touched on it, is how personal they are. They are very much, personalized for you. We have an episode where um we're told that we learn that it's like your heart speaking to yourself, kind of thing.
Oh.
So communicating with you. And
Mm.
but that means that a certain symbol for you might have a totally different meaning for somebody else. And so as you're coming up with these themes, one of the main things you can do is kind of sit there and ask yourself, what does this mean to me? What does driving a car actually mean for you? And you don't have to answer it now, but it's just something
Mm.
to kind of reflect on as you're noticing these themes and these symbols. And then what you'll do is you kind of develop your own dictionary, your own dream language, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Like even a month ago, that probably wouldn't have. Um, but that actually makes sense.
Cool.
It really
Cool.
does. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I was saying, like you're playing the game. Like I see it as this human experience. We're playing a game, and we've got all these tools at our disposal to help us, navigate our soul's path, and to, unprogram, reprogram onto our path. And yeah, dreams are just such a fascinating part of that. But it's like that whole unknown, right? People love something that they can read or hold on to and that makes sense. Like give me the rule book. I don't want to have to figure this out for myself, you know. And so we're moving out of that, like we're evolving out of that as a human species at the moment. So yeah, I feel like this bringing that aspect of playing the game into the dream space, it's like it's really expansive. It's like this whole other layer that we get to learn from and have fun with. Like, let's have fun with it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what am I seeing a ram for? Like, what's going on? This doesn't make any logical sense yet, but I know it will. I know it will one day. And
Yeah.
and that gets to be okay. Like, let's just keep it fun, not to be too serious
Yeah.
about it.
Do you do you find that things come to you better if you don't analyze as much, or um, does it take
Yeah,
more time? What's the for you?
I've found that things just drop in, like the real strong messages, the real knowings, they just drop in. Like I don't really even need to try. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, I see that now. That makes sense. That's yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, like I think like analyzing is just too much logic. Like whereas I'm it's a bad word. I'm a feeler, but I feel more. Even like I was out with someone the other day looking for ley lines, and I just like I can see them in a photo, but when we're out there, maybe I'm just more in tune with feeling and not trying to
Mm.
see them. So, but and same with dreams as well. Like even when I wake up, like how I feel, is it, really strong, like a vivid dream? Is it something I need to really pay attention to, or is it something that's you know, just processing information from previous days and stuff like that? So I find less analyzing gets me closer to what I need to understand. Rather than like even going back through the dream journals, I don't even recognize some of the dreams I've written down. I'm like, I didn't dream about that, did I? Because it was maybe for there and then, and it was just like a way to process it, write it down, and then move forward.
Yeah.
It's like looking back at old photos, or people telling stories about your old self. You don't recognize them, so it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. I just felt
Yeah.
like I needed to share that.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Biljana, you and I talk about this a lot, especially before we start to have guests on the on the podcast, where you definitely feel more into your dreams, like actually the feeling, how you felt about it, how you feel during the dream, and all of that. And myself, I'm more focused on kind of the symbols and what the symbols mean. And as you were talking about the feeling thing, I'm like, well, in trying to avoid the logic side of things or the analytical side, I definitely analyze, but I think I'm doing a combination of analyzing and intuitive sensing. It's like, I'm like, oh, what did that symbol mean? And it'd be like, does it mean this? And then I'm like, I'm asking a question, but I'm being guided by my intuition is really what's happening in that moment. And for me, and this is my part where I want to share a little bit more on this. It's some realization that I've had recently. I find decoding dreams is like puzzle solving. It's kind of pulling into that game aspect that you talked about, Sarah Jane. And I really love puzzles. I've always loved puzzles, all forms, whether it's logic puzzles or just doing a jigsaw puzzle. I like to solve problems, I guess, or solve things and put them together. And so when you have this really interesting, very vivid, not necessarily super profound, but you just have this dream that's so memorable, and you're like, oh, I definitely feel there's something with that. And again, I wrote down my dream journal. I don't remember all the details from this week. I still need to reflect on it, but I can talk about the experience I had this week where I had the dream. I woke up, I'm like, there's something profound here. I know that there's a message trying to come through. I'm like, but I need more clarity. Like just the messages or the symbols, whatever it was that came through, wasn't exactly clear for me. So I don't know if it was the next night or if it was I went back to sleep, because what often happens is I'll wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning because, you have to go to the bathroom. And that's when I journal, is like I'll just write it all down right in that moment, especially when it's super vivid, and then go back to sleep. And so my intention when I go back to sleep is like, okay, I need more clarity. I need some help. Just, make it really easy and obvious. Send me some some other message. And I actually had more clarity come through when I went back to sleep with the next dream.
Mm, I really like that. I'm writing this down. I really like that because part of my dream journal journey has been those moments where I'm waking up at 3. I usually sleep through quite well. I'm blessed. I don't ever really need to get up to go to the loo or anything. So when I have that broken sleep at that 3 o'clock period, I wake up like, oh, I'm waking up. This is so annoying. I need to get back to sleep, and it's a frustration for me. And so I noticed it was probably a good 4 or 5 weeks that happened through like March, April. Um, I stopped journaling. I was having insane dreams. And I was like, oh, I'll remember them. I didn't remember them by the time I woke up again, of course. Um, so I really appreciate hearing that. And like, I can actually put that to good use if when I experience some sleep interruption like that again. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, just
That's so
just
cool because you're so lucid in that next layer of sleep is so light. Like, mm, that's
yeah,
cool. I love it.
exactly. And so then if you set the intention, and then if you practice lucid living, so then not only could you have the intention for more clarity, but now you're more likely to lucid dream when you have broken sleep and go back to sleep after being alert. So the actual process of dream journaling when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning from a nice deep sleep and then you go
Hmm.
back to sleep, you're more likely to be lucid then because you've gone to sleep with like this kind of focused alert mind.
Mm,
And I mean, I don't know I probably should look them up, but I just like to talk in just in general, but like all the different levels of REM sleep and when you lucid dream, when you
mm,
I only know from experience that when I've lucid dream or lucid dreamt, it has often been when there's a break in the sleep, when I've woken up, dream journaled, and then gone back to sleep.
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I
Do you
feel
ever
like
sleep during the day, Sarah Jane? Like
oh,
just take
no.
naps?
I've
Because
reckon
I
I've
found
had
that
like 5 naps in my life. Yeah. They've been
I feel like
amazing.
that's when I get my most vivid um
Oh,
information, I guess. But like, yeah. So like
yeah.
intentionally like having a nap, like, oh, I feel like I just feel I need to process something. So not necessarily, and that's I think why your body's tired because it's trying to process a lot like during the
Mm-hmm.
day. So I'm like, I'll have a nap and I'll intentionally try and figure this out. And that's when I go on a massive journey, and
Cool.
generally in those times rather than at night time. So
Cool.
yeah,
Good to know.
because you
Good
can
to know.
use it as like a meditative thing as well, right? Like you don't have to sleep, but like get to a point where and you'd probably know this with meditating, like just really dropping that deep that it feels like you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, I don't know, on the scale of sleep scale, that just that relaxation, the brain waves,
yeah,
it's probably likened to a particular stage of sleep, perhaps. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And
It's
I don't
well
know what
intertwined.
this is coming through for me right now, but doing like this morning as an example for me, get up bright and early, fiance goes off to work and I, see him off to work or whatever. And this morning I was just like, it's like, I really need just an extra hour of sleep. It's like, I'm just going to crawl back into bed. I've already gotten up and, whatever. And I don't know if I particularly fell into to a real sleep because I did have to get up within an hour. I had like a meeting and something. But I just got to this what I'll call like a meditative state where I was just, nice and relaxed. And I might have dreamed, I might have not. But there was just like a switch that flipped in my body where my whole body was just like, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, and now I'm awake and alert. Whereas when I woke up an hour before, it was like, you just felt kind of sluggish because you didn't quite have the right sleep, or you woke out of a really deep sleep and you hadn't really fully woken up. So anyway, just want to share that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your like thoughts on dreams, or like what we are as beings?
Mm.
Just get a perspective.
Yeah. Well, do you mean like as what we are as here on Earth, how we're
Yeah.
playing
Yeah, because I like to
through?
ask that just so we can get like a baseline of your where your perspective is at, and then it
Yeah.
might twig something in us as well, and we might learn something, look at it a different way. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
like what dreams are to you? Because everyone has a different perspective.
Yeah.
What of it?
Yeah, gosh, I haven't really pondered this. It's been dreams are, I believe that dreams are there to serve us. That's part of our experience. It's part of, so it's like, our past experiences are there to serve us. Our bodies memories, our cellular memories, the way we store emotions, and learning to feel again, and that's part of our yeah, I guess the toolkit's probably the word I'm looking for. We have all of these ways that we can learn more about ourselves, learn more about our fellow humans, learn more about our realm, and dreams are one of them. We're blessed with it as a gift. So I feel like it's a relationship that we get to build. Yeah. They're there to help us. Like it's part of us. It's it's part of our psyche. It's part of our consciousness that we don't have the ability to connect with while we're awake.
Yeah, beautiful.
So yeah.
So kind of like we talked about this in episode 21, which was, I think the quote was, dreams are an extension of your multidimensional self, just to kind of sum up.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, like we've got this earth playground, and we've got like this other dream realm playground. Like that's kind of how I see it now. Yeah. It's not just movies in my mind, made to sort of entertain me while I'm, while my body's resting. There's an interaction of an opportunity for interaction there. Um, yeah, it's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you,
And there's no separation as well between our waking and our sleeping life. Um, yeah, like even when you think about like hypnosis, you can interact with the person under hypnosis. So,
Yeah.
and I had this experience the other day where I was talking to someone, but I was falling asleep at the same time, and I was talking to them in my dream, but I was also talking to them like in person. So it's,
Yeah.
that's it, just showing you, yeah, it's all one,
Range.
one of the same, and yeah.
Yeah.
and
So
you
I'm
could
like,
be
oh,
at
maybe I should do that more. Get super tired, and then almost like it's well, you could call it like lucid dreaming or living, whatever you want to call it. But like, yeah, it was quite fascinating. And I think there must be the people that sleep talk or sleepwalk. It's like that similar thing. That there's no separation um, between waking and sleeping. It's quite
it,
fascinating.
it's
Yeah.
like being in two places at
It
once.
is. What was that?
I said it's like being in two places at once.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be. And I'm actually just remembering as well. There's moments. I had one recently where I was doing the dishes and I had a memory pop up, and I'm like, that's from a dream. Like that's not something that happened in real life. That's well, in real life. It's not happened something that happened in my waking hours, maybe I should say, that happened in a dream. And I'm like, how cool that I knew that memory was from a dream and that I'm storing this memory from a dream. So yeah, it's totally interconnected. That's evidence for me anyway that they're one and the same. It's all part of the same game.
Yeah. And deja vu as well could be something to do with that as well.
Yeah. Wonder. Deja vu is an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, those moments where you
Like it's
maybe
a
can't
memory.
pinpoint what it is. Maybe it's a past
It's a
life.
memory, past life, yeah, whatever you want to call it, because yeah, who really knows? You can't really put your finger on it, but
Yeah.
like it's something you've experienced in one way or another,
Yep.
and yeah,
Yep.
it's quite fascinating.
It's so cool. Yeah. The whole new world. It
Yes,
really is.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad we touched on that because that's something that really fascinates me. That and the waking up in the dreams. And like, there was a book, someone shared a screenshot of a book they were reading. It was something like the shamans or the shamaness, something or other around waking up in dreams. I need to find the screenshot. I was like, oh, that sounds like a book I want to read.
yeah.
Yeah, navigating the dream realm consciously. Like, have either of you had like a real experience
Oh
with
yeah.
that? Like, yeah.
I mean, it's really what initiated my entire
Mm,
um just drive to learn more about dreams and um to really harness the experience of dreams, I would say, and messages that can come through. And it was like it was the whole thing where you get up and you go to the bathroom, like actually you wake up and you go to the bathroom and you come back and you go back to sleep. But then when you go back to sleep, you're actually doing what you just did in real life, only you're doing it in the dream, where you get up and you go to the bathroom in the dream and then you come out and then you go back to sleep in the dream and then you wake up in the dream, and then it's like this whole experience. And for me it was actually a visitation from my grandfather, what this dream that I'm describing, and it was super 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 profound.
mhm.
Yeah. What about
Beautiful.
you, Sarah? Have you had any of those sorts of dreams, or even like premonitions, or anything that's you've dreamt and it's come true, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely had. I feel like I've had more than one premonition, but there's one that just really stands out. It was when I was maybe 20, I think 20 years old. I was with my ex at the time, and yeah, I he said he was going out somewhere, and I just had a funny well, no, I didn't even suspect actually. I didn't suspect that he wasn't telling the truth. But that night I dreamt that he was out with a particular group of people doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And yeah, and then I confronted him the next day and he was just like, whoa, how did how did you know that? And I'm like, I dreamt it. I had a premonition in my dream, quite literally. So yeah, I feel like I've had more, but they just haven't stuck with me. Yeah, so definitely. What's with
And what
that?
were you going through at that time? Like it was that like your like initial awakening, or
No, definitely not. Definitely not. My that didn't really come
I know you said
until like yeah,
2022
my
was kind of
mid
like
twenties.
yeah,
Yeah, COVID, yeah. COVID was the like I'd already started waking up to um the puppetry that's going on, I guess, so maybe a good way to put it. Waking up to that side of things, but yeah, like COVID was that catalyst of massive change. But I never had a real like awakening moment. I didn't kind of wake up one day and go, holy moly, like everything's changed. It's been a gradual, piece by piece, slow
yeah.
burn for me.
That sounds
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
I
nice.
feel
quite
like I was
grateful
just
for that.
tugged. I feel like I was just tugged like that it's happening, and yeah, life just turned
Yep.
to shit very quickly. So I
Wow.
think our
Yeah.
souls like want different things, or like they we just know what we need, and yeah, some people couldn't handle the
Absolutely.
full on, and some people need or want the gradual thing. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
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 I wonder what
Yeah.
what it was for myself and my higher self. But sometimes I wonder if they were just like tired of me like not you know, getting there. And it's like, okay, let's just do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
But there's always
Yeah.
like an underlying innate like thought process like everyone goes through like, oh, there's just something not right.
Yeah.
And probably for you, Sarah, like you just already, you've had that premonition and it's just stuck with you since then.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just, yeah, like slow unraveling, like piece by piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. And I do feel though, like this year has been the ramp up. Like things are starting to speed up. Like that kind of comfort, slow dilly dally is poof, not so COVID was more like 2022 was more like um almost like validation, you know? And it was like this excitement, like, everyone's gonna get it now. That obviously didn't happen. But obviously didn't happen. But yeah, no, this year, like in terms of oh gosh, in terms of like things like this, like expanding into the dream realm, psychic ability, um, attuning more to my body and the feeling, like all of it's like everything that I've learned is like coming together now, and it's like really locking and loading, and now it's going to be like phew, like we're on a fast track to whatever is next.
yeah.
Yeah, this year's
What's
been
what's been the
pretty
theme? What's been the theme for you? Like you saying
mm,
it was like personal stuff you're going through at the moment. Has it been relating to family?
yeah.
I know family's personal stuff anyway, but
Family's been a big one. Family's been a
yeah,
big one. Yeah, through the 2022 phase, the family was the big piece. So there's been a lot of reconciliation in the last sort of couple of years where we've, found our new place together. As being the rainbow sheep of the family. So that's definitely been part of it. And now it's more it's how can I nourish myself, my body, in ways to really support this level of expansion that's coming through, like the mineral capacity of my body. Am I truly nourished? What does my body need? Not what someone else is telling me, not what someone else is recommending in a protocol or whatever. It's like, what do I need? What's my experience sharing with me right now? Like, I have everything I need right here. It's just really time to trust it. And yeah, so
love it.
that's the
Yeah,
theme. And level of nourishment, like with food and rest and all of that. That's the theme.
Have
Because
you
I've been go,
yeah.
go,
ever,
go, 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 go. I'm a manifesting generator. I'm like, go, 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 go. I've got all the energy. I'll keep going. I've always got the energy. And then I'm like, I actually really don't. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's nourish. Mm.
do you feel, or have you ever had any of those, you're asking the question, what is it that my body needs? What is it that I need right now? Have you ever had
Hmm.
any of that information come through in a dream in some form?
No, I haven't. I've asked for guidance and have not. It's funny. One night when I was really like, I was when it wasn't even asking. I was like, tonight I am going to receive like clarity on this thing with health, for example, like this particular health thing. And I woke up and went, did I dream last night? Like I had blank slate. And then I was like, is something messing with me? Like, is something like what's going on here? I'm like, I know I dream. I dream every night. Why can I not remember anything? Nothing. It was literally like a blank slate.
Hmm.
It was so, so strange. So yeah, then it's like, well, I don't know, what kind of might be a good question. Like what kind of humbug can go on in the dream realm to kind of stop us from accessing information that is for our highest good? That's, I've
Many
gives
things.
that a
Yeah,
yeah,
there's many
clearly, but
things,
like,
but
yeah,
but
really weird.
there's also things you can do to um limit the influence, manipulation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And the main thing is really just your intention, setting your
Hmm.
keeping your vibration
Always.
high is one. We talked about that in our episode with another Sarah. And
Of course.
this is actually the discussion was around kids and stuff, but I think it translates to adults as
Mhm.
well. And kids that have a lot of nightmares and whatnot, it's often because they ended up going to sleep in a low vibrational state. And then when you're in a lower frequency, then you're going, you're almost like accessing the lower, I forget what she called them, just the lower dream realms, I think was kind of what she had called it.
Yeah.
And then when
Mm.
you're in those lower frequency levels, um,
Mhm.
that's where you're going to have influence and interaction from lower level energies.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
can then have
That
that
feed
that
off
in
that.
yeah.
Mm.
So
That's
I
interesting. It
guess that
makes.
can be like a reflection point is, and
Mm.
that's one avenue, but there could be other things going on too.
Mm.
But and it could just be maybe you weren't ready to have the message simply in that moment. You're just there's the thing where we're like, okay, we want this for our highest good. We're ready. Just give us the information we need. And then our higher self's like, not yet.
Not yet.
There's layers, right? But you can also
For
set
sure.
the intention and ask intuitively, like, am I ready for this information that I'm asking for? And see what comes
Hmm.
from that too, instead of just
Yeah.
like demanding it to happen. Like, am I
Yeah.
Yeah.
ready to
I was like,
receive
got
this?
this.
And also it could be yourself blocking yourself, like in what like if someone or something is
Mhm.
is stopping you from getting information where maybe in your life you're giving your power away to an outside
Mhm.
source, possibly, like, you know, asking for
This is the
advice
thing.
from, other people, and people
Mhm.
doing your taxes, or like, or like those sorts of things. Like, yes, you ask for help, but like, there's times where we need to be our own boss, and
Yeah.
especially with energetically, yeah, that's what I found. With a lot of the interference I was having, because I was giving my attention away, my power away, not just sitting in like victim mentality of like, oh, this happened to me and all that. But really, like, you're
Yeah.
allowing it to happen. So yeah, that can be related to your dreams as well. So that's just a thought.
That makes perfect
Yeah,
sense. All of that. It really
yeah,
does. Yeah.
yeah. Just bringing the
Yeah.
power back, bringing, yeah. And like we
Yeah.
we talk about on here and with Ley Love Down, intention. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about at the moment. And it's so funny, it's so easy for us to get caught in a story or, make it a bit more dramatic than it may be, or like blame someone, but it's always so simple.
yeah,
We're the creators of our own reality. It's just like we know the answers. We know the answers.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Keep it simple. Intention and self-responsibility. Yeah.
100%. And that's something Biljana and I learned very, very early on with this podcast is just the power and importance of intention. And if you're curious, you can go back. I forget what episode that was. Is that like episode 13, 14? I don't know.
Yeah,
When we did it,
that's
you
one of the
just
first
just
ones.
just look for like it has experiment week 1 and 2 or something in the title. And so we actually
Uh-huh.
talk about a experiment where we did where first of all we reduced like sugar intake and like no food after 6. And we did a week
Hmm.
without intention towards our dreams and then a week with intention. And we couldn't even make it through the week without intention because we actually live intentionally anyway. And so then to go to sleep with no intention whatsoever. Like it was almost torture for us in terms of our dreams because the dreams were all over the place. They weren't making any sense. There was no direction, no nothing with them. And then with the intention, it was like a switch and everything was much more focused and organized.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah. And it's also making me think as well, like that a nighttime routine is something that's coming up for me a lot as well at the moment, like really intentionally winding down. You
Yeah.
know, I've been wearing the blue blocker glasses. We have low light. You know, I've been really working with sun signals and all of that. But there's still a bit too much screen time for my liking. You know, even with the glasses, it's like, okay, you know, so can I minimize that and have like an hour before bed where it's really like, okay, I'm getting ready for my nighttime journey sort of thing, you know, like
Yeah.
really that level of intention. Um,
And I
but
think
so
maybe
cool to hear like
changing
just
yeah,
that decision, like just, yeah, I'm going to go to bed with intention can have such a powerful impact.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Just that little
yeah.
decision. Mm.
Yeah, I've thought about changing like the activity, like if it's not around a screen, like maybe a board game, and then eventually like just conversation and then nothing, like having like just peace and quiet where you don't talk or just sit and relax. Like when do we ever really just sit and do nothing? You know? So
Yeah.
that's my plan is like to transition and like what better ways to interact and um hang out with people that you like live with is, you know, in a board game or cards or something like that instead of watching TV and you're talking about what's on TV or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then transition. So that's my plan at the moment.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling that. Absolutely. It's funny, we had
I
some
miss board
kids come
games.
in, yeah. We had some friends' kids come in our van the other week and they're like, "Where's your television?" They're like, "Oh, we don't have one. We haven't had
Yeah.
one for years." I'm
No.
like, "Oh, what do you do?" It's like, we like each other. We chat, you know. It's so funny. So funny, but like, God, imagine if everyone just got rid of their televisions at night, like played some board games, had some cards, had some good conversation, wrote down a few things they were grateful for the day, made some wishes. Like I've started asking we travel with another family, and I love asking the kids like, "What are you going to dream about tonight? What do you hope to dream about tonight?" Like I love asking that question. Like I wish I had someone ask me this when I was little. You know, it's so yeah, it can be
Yeah,
such a fun place. Like so much better than just watching something on telly and then like you say, like just lowering down into this like, ugh. And then you kind of drift off to sleep in front of the TV and then you wake up and then you've got that energy because you've slept off and then you stay up even later and then your body's not getting the rest that it needs. Like no wonder this perpetual loop of grind and burnout and people feeling so disconnected. It's just makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And it doesn't have
absolutely.
to take too much to bring some intention back into these really important moments like winding down at night and playing in the dream realm. Doesn't take too
yeah,
much.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
Mm,
I guess I feel like this kind of ties into perhaps a little bit the lucid living, but even just
mm,
intention wise, Biljana, you've talked about this yourself before. For myself, I put my intention literally happens right. It's like part of my going to sleep process. It's almost like going into a meditative sleep. You know, I'm doing my breathing while I'm just laying on my pillow and then I'm setting my intention for what I want to dream about, unless I'm like totally exhausted and then I don't actually get through that full process before I fall asleep. But Biljana, you've talked about setting your intention for the dream state throughout the day. So actually starting the intention much earlier than kind of right before you go to bed. Um, I don't
yeah.
know if you've ever updated us on what the progress of that was.
I am where I am now, going through a massive shift of like I always thought coming back to family and I suppose trying to figure out why I like stepped away to find myself and then coming back and then try and reintegrate into um family interactions instead of doing it like the logical way, like trying to repair things, like have conversations, is to do it more of an energetic sense, like clearing the lineage of the family, and I feel like that's been a massive shift. My having my intention that I don't want it just for myself, but my all lineages in the past. You know, my mum, grandma, her mum, and then also the kids through the family. So that's been my intention, and that's why having massive shifts. My dreams have been like all over the place, haven't made sense, but like things just drop in every now and then that I've dreamt, and I'm like, oh yeah, wow, that's really handy. So um,
Mm.
yeah, that's been my intention, and that's why yeah, everything's been just going crazy, but in a good way.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And it's good that things are still dropping in as you kind of need them to fill the space. Um,
Yeah,
I have at least three more questions. Two are kind of more um they're easier questions to answer. It's kind of like a yes no sort of question. And then the third question I have to think about because I just lost it. But so we'll start with the basic ones. And we kind of like to survey whoever we talk to just to kind of get an idea. You know, we talk about intentions, what dreams are, all of this, but we actually just want to hear a little bit about your actual dream experience, as in, do you dream in color? Have you ever dreamt in black and white? Have you ever dreamt in cartoon? And what perspective do you dream in?
That's cool. Um, it's funny. I feel like I do dream in color, but it's very dull. It's more that I know that something is a particular color. Because, like, for example, that Dodge Ram that I was in, I mentioned earlier. Like, if I think about it, yeah, it was really white. It was a very standout color. But on the whole, if I'm just sort of reflecting, yeah, it's definitely not bright color. No.
But then is
But I feel
that
like
a question of how you're remembering the dream or how you experience the dream?
exactly,
There's like a
exactly,
distinction
exactly.
there. Are like
We'll have to come back on in like 6 months
okay, and you'll let us know.
by the time I've mastered the ability to like wake up in my dreams. And I'll be like,
yeah.
okay, we've got some questions. So let's assess this.
What colors
Um,
everything?
interesting.
Well,
Yeah, so I'm
in
just
your
wondering.
everyday life, do you notice
Mhm.
colors? Like, are you really like fixated on colors?
I wouldn't say fixated, no. I'm more auditory. The sounds are really like, whew, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is funny because I'm hard of hearing. It's really interesting. But smell and auditory.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in your
Yeah.
dreams, do like the conversations you have in your dreams are more vivid for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, conversations and just like moving through whatever arena I'm in. Like, yeah, the people I'm meeting, the experiences I'm having.
Yeah,
I have a lot of like just movie dreams. I'm like, this is like a movie. And sometimes I feel like my perspective changes. So sometimes it's like first person, it's me, but other times I'm viewing it. I'm watching it, watching myself.
yeah.
Like I'm even having a memory of a dream. I feel like I was like almost shifting, yeah, between the two. Like I was coming into it and then taking a step out. I'm having a memory of a dream right now, just yeah, where I was kind of like in my body, out of my body. So
Zoom in, zoom
interesting.
out.
Yeah, it was like, it's a movie. No, it's me. It's a movie. No, it's me. So interesting. And I was looking at these massive goanna, like massive reptiles on the top of these two trees.
Oh,
They were
wonderful.
massive. Yeah, I was just like, wow. Yeah, I was kind of coming in and out. So, yeah, the perspective seems to change. Seems to change. Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
any
What else is in there?
do you have any correlation to the perspective to the type of message or the type of dream that you're having? And is this something that maybe we ask you in 6 months' time when you paid a little bit more attention to it or something, if it's nothing's coming right away? But like, do you think that there's a
Yeah.
correlation between like, a bird's eye view or this movie version versus the actual first person experience?
Intuitively, yes, but what it is, I couldn't be sure. I feel like perhaps it's more like when you step into the driver's seat, like when you become lucid, when you become conscious in the dream. I feel like that must be the piece. It's like, yeah, it's like, is it a realm that I'm navigating and then I'm like, oh, I really need to like be in this right now. So I like choose to kind of come and experience and then come back out again and navigate and oh, like there's someone I want my higher self to have a chat with them, like I don't know. It's interesting. I love these questions.
Yeah.
It's juicy. Yeah.
Well, I suppose a lot of the people don't ask these questions of themselves. So, and they're really
Nope.
simple. Like when we were talking about the black and white and color, for me, I was
Yeah.
like, I never noticed the colors. So I'm like, maybe I just dream in not black and white, but like grayscale. Like it's not just
Yeah.
black and white. It's kind of like the colors are not standing out. And I think
Yep.
because I feel more and um yeah, it's not for me, colors are not essential, I suppose. And that's why maybe I don't see colors like auras and that sort of stuff because maybe I haven't tapped into that part of myself yet. Because we all have the
Mhm.
same abilities of like the senses. It's just whether, I wouldn't say strengths or weaknesses, but like what we are more attuned to in ourselves. And we can work on them. So I suppose
Mm.
if you know what you're good at, like for you, Sarah, like you hear, you're listening, and if you feel or you see, like I think we should
Yeah, it's the
focus
feeling.
on those, yeah. Yeah, because that will help
Definitely.
us
Like
tap
you were saying with the
into
ley
the
line.
other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Let's not
Yeah.
focus on what we're not good at or,
Yes.
what's wrong. Like, no, you're not broken. Like, you just have, like you were saying, you're tuned a certain way. So, like,
Yeah.
go with that, follow that magic. And if the other stuff turns up, great. If not, great. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, just embrace it.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I'm staying on a ley line at the moment and I haven't been able to see it yet, but I'm like, oh, like it's there. I'm like, I know you're there. I feel like there's one that branches off just here. And I keep like I can't see it, but I'm like, I feel it. How do I know I feel it? I just do. I just do.
Yes.
But yeah, one
Yeah.
day that might change. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. And for anyone listening that doesn't know what a ley line is, like jump onto the Ley Love Down website and yeah, join in the
Yeah.
conversation because we're all still trying to figure it out and learning and all that. So no one has the exact answer, but yeah, it's quite interesting. Have either of you
It
dreamt
is.
about ley lines?
I haven't dreamt about ley lines per se that I can recall, but I definitely have been doing Ley Love Down work while I'm dreaming,
Yep.
like meeting with people, being in a group setting, having some sort of meditation or singing Ley Love Down or something along those lines. Some kind of energy related work definitely happens in my dreams.
Yeah. Cool. What
Beautiful.
about you, Sarah
Yeah,
Jane?
I haven't. No,
No.
no, no,
What about for your
not yet.
meditations? Do you ever get like what the focus on through your dreams?
No, no, I haven't. That's generally a waking hour tuning in and something will just land. Although I
Yeah.
feel, and usually that happens quite close to the piece, but I already feel like I know where we're going next week. And it's going to
Ooh.
be so nourishing,
Yeah.
relaxing, and a really beautiful anchor for the more turbulent times. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a really beautiful dropping in process. I'm really looking forward to guiding people through
Yeah.
it.
Awesome. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. And I'm
Yeah. And
co-hosting, so
yeah. Do you have any other more questions, Sarah?
I had a question and it just like it left my mind as quickly as I like thought about it. And I've been sitting here this whole time like, what's that third question? There was a third question because it was like a more in-depth question about, I don't know. I can't, my mind is just completely blank and I'm like, come on, how, why?
Maybe it's
So
meant to be
bad.
for the next chat.
Yeah, maybe it's
Exactly.
for the next one or who
Mhm.
who knows. Do you have any curiosities or any questions about dreams? You know, I don't have expected you to have listened to all of our episodes, but we've definitely Biljana and I
I
have definitely
think I
learned a
listened to
lot
the
on
first
this.
few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely
Yeah.
have learned a
But
lot in this journey. So
absolutely. Like, honestly, yeah, just that invitation for the dream journal, it's just opened up so much. You know, there's no coincidences, right? There's no coincidences. It's just so, yeah, it's been one of those little, I see the trail and how it's helped me, get to where I am now in a full circle perspective, this really important piece of
Yeah.
the puzzle, like you say. Um, no, I don't have any real questions. I'm just so excited for um, the moment that I get to consciously get into my dreams. I'm very excited about that. Um, and maybe, as you say, though, I'll listen to episode 20 because the excitement is probably what's knocking me off course.
it's knocking you off course, and it may actually prevent you from getting to the lucid state as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's
I
there's
love
a
it.
Rather
I'm
you
that
just
get
such an
excited.
excitable.
You go. Sorry.
I was just saying, I just get so excited about these things. I can't help it.
yeah, no, of
Okay,
course.
we'll bring it down a notch. Fine.
It's like be excited after you wake up, after
That's it.
the experience,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Do
like
either
gosh,
of you,
we get attached to things and yeah,
yeah,
it gets in the way.
do, do either of you get excited to actually go to sleep? Like, oh, I'm going to dream tonight. Because I do.
yeah, no,
At time, yeah, at times. And it depends. Like it depends what's going on, depends if I'm tired, it depends on which is why I'm really working on a supportive nighttime routine so that there can be some consistency no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
cool.
I definitely have gone through waves, I would say. There's some waves where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go to sleep later because I'm going to have, whatever dream's going to come through. But then, like, if you're just really tired and exhausted, sometimes you just want to sleep, and
Yeah.
I often sometimes will set the intention to just, I like put myself in this like beam of light, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here for the night, and I like actually want to rest tonight, so I don't want to be actively going places and experiencing things. I just need to, have a moment to myself. but
Yeah.
but I do get
Yeah.
excited for dreams on a multitude of levels. The per perspective, or is that the right word? The opportunity to lucid dream, to have flying dreams, have out of body experiences. That's always super, super fun and super cool. Getting to spend time with loved ones who have passed on, that's always a treasured moment for me. And it's not, some people may find it jarring to dream about those that have passed on, but for myself, it's it's just a beautiful thing to be able to spend time. And in particular, like with um my mom wasn't exactly a healthy woman during her waking life or her living life. And so I didn't actually get to spend a lot of time with her as like an adult and do things. But like I can actually do that with I can do things with her in my dream that I never had an opportunity to do when she was alive. So there's actually like that part of actually spending more time with her in my dream state than I ever did when she was on this plane.
Mhm. I feel
Nice.
that.
Yeah, and it's not like a
Feel that.
sad thing for me. It's a really it's actually exciting. It's like I wake up, I was like, oh, I mom visited me last night.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, my mum and dad have both passed on, and yeah, those moments where you get to just say, "Hey," like I've sat at a bar with my dad and just had a drink.
Yeah.
You know,
Perfect.
we didn't even talk. We just sat there and just looked at each other. It's like, oh, how special.
Yeah,
How
wonderful.
special. You know, even if you're not, you know, looking to expand and, you know, all the beautiful stuff we're talking about, it's like we do just simply get to connect with those that have passed on in that place as well. Like, that's so special.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
so special. Thanks for
Yeah.
bringing that up.
Yeah, no, of course.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you have any more
Mm.
questions, Biljana?
No, I think I feel like we've yeah, shared everything that we're supposed to share. And yeah, thank you, Sarah Jane, for coming on. And
Thank you.
it's so good
Thank
that we
you.
get still like get to connect with you through Ley Love Down. So it's not the last time we'll chat to you. And
That's it.
yeah, we get to experience you in the meditation. So if anyone wants to come along to the meditations, you just got a voice for
Mm.
it. Like both of you got just a voice for calming people and
Aw.
sharing the love. And yeah, it's really good when I can make it. So yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you very
Awesome.
much. If there's anything you want to share, even like for your own personal things that you do, if there's any your socials,
Mm.
anything you want to share. You didn't actually say what you
Yeah.
do, so I wasn't sure if you want to share
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. So I work with women, helping them live a better life, help them remember who they are underneath all of the programming and conditioning. I am just so I can see the light in people. I can just see the parts of themselves that they can't see. So I'm just here to help like activate that in people. And I've recently bought a retreat venture into the world. So a dear soul sister and I have launched a business, Prakaja Bloom Retreats. Prakaja is a Sanskrit word. It means divine light and radiance. So Prakaja Bloom speaks for itself. So yeah, we're holding space for women. In July, actually, we have our weekend retreat, Exhale and Reset, coming up in July. So if you follow me, Sarah_Jane_soul, or find Prakaja Bloom Retreats on Instagram, you'll find some information about that. Got some bring a friend discounts and all of that happening at the moment. It's going to be a really beautiful, soul nourishing experience. So yeah, it feels a little, if you feel a
Lovely.
little tug, come along. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We'll,
uh,
we'll definitely put your links like in with the video, and
Yeah,
if people want to
beautiful.
come and check
Thank
it out,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. And
Oh, so lovely.
just to have a nice little bow on today's episode, this is our final question that we do ask our guests. And that
Mm.
simply is there anything on your heart that you want to share that you just want to get out there, dream related or not, just let your heart speak. And we have a platform for
Mm.
everyone to listen.
Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. I just always wish for people to know that there is nothing wrong with you. No matter what you are going through, no matter what is hitting the fan, there is nothing wrong with you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop focusing on what's wrong because there is nothing wrong. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And you have a light inside of you that's connected to the universe, uni one verse song. We are one song, and you play a really beautiful, specific, unique frequency within that song. So take some time out and just remember that. Tune into that. Stop focusing on what's wrong with you because there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. So that's what I want. That's always on my heart to share to anyone who has the ears and the heart to listen. Thank you for that.
Uh, that was beautiful.
Felt that
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I have not heard it described as the universe one song. So I really appreciate that. That was a great little
Yeah.
way
Well,
to
just play.
explain it and also just be inclusive of everybody, you know, like because everybody has different backgrounds and different beliefs. So that was just a very inclusive way to convey that message. So I appreciate how you did that. So thank you. Thank you. And I like that you knew that you were speaking from the heart, because you just literally were coming from the heart.
It's easy for me. That's my default. I don't know if it's my Leo stellium, Leo, the heart. It's yeah, just comes through. So thanks for that opportunity. It's always like, yes, what do you have to say right now? I love it.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite ways to end the episode. So with that,
It's a beautiful bow.
thank you again, Sarah Jane, for coming on. I know this won't be our last conversation either through Ley Love Down or through Dream Oracle. Definitely love to have you on at a later date and hear your journey as you progress in the dream and waking state as they merge together.
Yeah. Beautiful. And thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And as always, thank you to our dear listeners. We're so excited and so happy with all of the support and love that you show for this podcast. And we just can't thank you enough. As always, everyone, just please keep on dreaming.